In 2023, IBM deployed an AI system that handles 1.5 million HR-related employee questions every single year. No HR representative involved, no callback scheduled, no tickets submitted to a queue that nobody monitors. Just an answer, in seconds, at any hour, from a system that cost a fraction of the HR headcount it replaced. That same year, IBM's HR department was operating at a fraction of its previous size. The company that built technology to replace white-collar workers was using it to replace its own employees. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why the HR department was never built to do what it claimed to do. You are going to understand why artificial intelligence has not disrupted HR so much as it has exposed it. And you are going to see the specific opening this structural collapse has created, one that benefits every professional who has ever been on the wrong side of an HR process.
Here is the argument. The HR department was not designed to support employees. It was designed to protect the organization from employees, managing legal liability, enforcing compliance, controlling the flow of information between workers and management, and ensuring that the company's interests were represented in every interaction that touched the workforce. Those are the actual functions of HR. The ones advertised, talent development, employee well-being, organizational culture, were always secondary to the primary function of risk management and control. AI has not disrupted that primary function. It has automated it. And in doing so, it has exposed the gap between what HR claimed to be and what it actually was. But this shift did not only dismantle something, it created something specific, a structural opening for professionals who understand what is actually happening to build positions that did not exist before. We will return to that before this video ends.
The modern HR department was formalized in the post-war American corporation, the same organizational wave that created the corporate hierarchy. As companies scaled rapidly in the 1950s and 1960s, they needed a dedicated function to manage the legal and administrative complexity of employing large numbers of people simultaneously. Wage compliance, labor law, benefits administration, hiring documentation. The function was essentially a legal buffer between the organization and its workforce. It was called personnel, and its purpose was never ambiguous. Personnel departments existed to protect the company. Then something interesting happened in the 1980s and 1990s. Personnel was rebranded as human resources. The language shifted from management to development, from compliance to culture, from control to care. The function did not change. The marketing did. And that rebranding was one of the most consequential sleights of hand in the history of corporate communications, because it converted a defensive organizational function into something that employees genuinely believed was working on their behalf. The rebranding worked for 30 years because HR did occasionally deliver genuine value. Performance processes that identified real talent, conflict resolution that produced real outcomes, diversity programs that created measurable change. These things happened, but they happened alongside the primary function, not instead of it. Think about how an HR department actually spends its time. Resume screening and applicant tracking, onboarding documentation and compliance checklists, policy enforcement and disciplinary procedures, annual performance review administration, benefits enrollment and payroll coordination. These are not human development functions. These are administrative coordination functions with legal risk management embedded in them. And they constitute the majority of what most HR professionals spend most of their working hours doing. They are also precisely the category of tasks that AI automates first, fastest, and most completely. The data crossed its critical threshold in 2022 and 2023, simultaneously across multiple industries. Unilever deployed AI screening for entry-level roles and eliminated first-round human interviews entirely for those positions. By 2023, they had processed over 2 million candidate applications through AI assessment without a single human recruiter involved in the initial screen. The result was a 75% reduction in time to hire and a measurably more diverse candidate pool than the human screening process had produced. At Amazon, the algorithmic performance management system that had already been tracking warehouse workers expanded to office roles, monitoring output metrics, flagging performance deviations, and initiating documented performance processes without human manager involvement. In healthcare, hospital networks deployed AI credential verification systems that process nursing and physician license checks in hours rather than the weeks that human HR teams required. In legal services, compliance screening platforms replaced the document-heavy manual processes that junior HR associates spent significant portions of their time managing. The pattern is not industry-specific, it is structural. 3 technical thresholds crossed in the same window and made HR automation structurally complete. The first was natural language processing capability, AI systems that can conduct structured candidate assessments, answer complex policy questions, and process employee feedback at a quality level that meets or exceeds human HR output. The second was integration depth, AI platforms connecting directly to the payroll, benefits, performance, and compliance systems that HR previously managed through human intermediaries. The third was legal defensibility, the point at which AI-driven HR decisions became auditable, documentable, and legally defensible in employment disputes. Once AI HR decisions could be defended in court with the same rigor as human decisions, the last structural argument for maintaining a large human HR function collapsed. By 2024, platforms including Workday, ServiceNow, and dozens of AI-native HR startups had crossed all 3 thresholds simultaneously across every major industry. What replaces the HR department is not a void. It is a fundamentally leaner structure built on 3 layers. The first layer is an AI administration platform, a system that handles every routine HR interaction automatically. Policy questions, benefits enrollment, onboarding documentation, compliance training, leave requests, payroll queries. The tasks that consumed the majority of HR headcount in the legacy model are now handled by software at a fraction of the cost. No ticket queue, no callback in 3 to 5 business days. Instant, accurate, available at any hour. IBM's 1.5 million question system is not a pilot. It is the production model, and it is being replicated across organizations of every size as the platforms reach price points accessible to companies without IBM's infrastructure budget. The second layer is a small specialist function, a handful of genuine HR professionals who handle what AI cannot. Complex employment disputes requiring human judgment, organizational design requiring strategic thinking, cultural development requiring genuine human relationship investment over time. This layer is smaller than anything the legacy HR model maintained, but it is genuinely valuable in ways the administrative tier below it was not. The third layer is direct manager accountability. The flat organizational structure transfers HR's people management function directly to the individual manager. The manager owns the outcome. HR no longer provides political cover for it. Across industries, organizations deploying this 3-layer model are reporting cost reductions of 40 to 60% in their people operations spend. In technology companies where this model has been adopted fastest, HR to employee ratios have dropped from the legacy average of 1 per 50 employees to 1 per 150 or more. So what does this mean for the 3 groups most directly inside this shift? If you are an HR professional, the honest structural assessment is this: the administrative functions of your role, the screening, the documentation, the policy enforcement, the compliance coordination, are already being automated at scale. The functions that survive are the ones that require genuine human judgment in high-stakes situations: complex dispute resolution, senior hiring, organizational restructuring, and culture development that requires sustained human relationship investment. If you are in an administrative HR role in any industry, the data is unambiguous about where that role is heading. If you are in a specialist or senior role built around genuine judgment and organizational influence, your position is structurally defensible. The distinction matters, and it matters now. If you are a business operator or founder, the structural implication is straightforward. The HR infrastructure you are paying for is being repriced by platforms that deliver better service at a fraction of the cost. The operators who rebuild their people operations around AI-native platforms now will have a cost and talent efficiency advantage that compounds against competitors who maintain the legacy model.
Now, the opening. For decades, the HR gatekeeping function controlled something that mattered enormously to individual professionals: access to opportunities. The resume screening process, the keyword matching, the first-round interview filter, all of these were human-controlled systems with human biases embedded in them. Candidates who did not match the pattern the recruiter was trained to recognize were eliminated before anyone with decision-making authority saw their application. AI screening systems are not without bias. They carry the biases of their training data, but they are consistent in ways human screeners structurally cannot be. And the platforms that deploy AI screening transparently give candidates something genuinely new: a hiring process where understanding the system creates a structural advantage. The professional who understands how AI screening systems evaluate candidates and who builds their professional presence accordingly is operating with an information advantage in the talent market that did not exist 5 years ago. That advantage requires no network. It requires no insider relationship. It requires understanding how the new system works. That knowledge is available to anyone who seeks it, and right now, very few people are seeking it. HR was never on your side. It was on the organization's side. And for 50 years, the gap between those two positions was managed by a rebranding exercise that convinced millions of professionals that the function designed to protect the company from them was actually there to develop and support them. AI did not destroy HR. It automated the function HR was actually performing. And in doing so, it made visible what was always true. The care was peripheral. The compliance was central. What comes next is not a workplace without people management. It is a workplace where people management is either genuinely human or genuinely automated. And the performance theater in between, the annual review that nobody believes, the onboarding process nobody remembers, the policy document nobody reads, that layer is gone. What replaces it will be more honest. That was it for today's video. I hope that you not only enjoyed it, but learned a thing or two as well. And as always, change is inevitable. It is like a cloak sewn to the back of our existence. And the world seems to favor the ones who embrace this change rather than reject it. Subscribe to our channel so that you always know what's changing and what to do about it. Take care, and I'll see you next week.